Hail, the citizens of YouTube, and well met. I am the Journeyman, and I should like to welcome you once again to the spiral of my thoughts. I recently commented on my Facebook account in the Atheists, Agnostics, and Freethinkers group that I should like to address the concept of magic. This question was posed to me by a viewer, a subscriber, and someone who I would consider a compatriot, with regards to where I stand on the concept, both in the formats of theatrical prestidigitation, which is to say, entertainment magic, and the concept of spiritual or occult paranormal abilities, powers, and rituals. First of all, I should like to address the concept of prestidigitation, theatrical performances of magic. As a young lad, I was infatuated with magicians. I was enthralled by illusion, the ability of an entertainer to pull a dove from his sleeve, to pull a rabbit out of a hat, to have ever-flowing scarves coming from his sleeves. This was an innocent form of entertainment for me as a child. I was purely in love with the practice and with the theatricality of it all. To sit down and enjoy a man or a woman getting showily dressed and preparing to awe his audience with sleight of hand and illusion. Yet this has, in recent years, become too passé. It's too vaudevillian. It's considered undignified, which is rather a shame, I believe. I like the old, traditional, classical forms of magic. You can take these "I'll stay locked in a cube of ice for 48 hours and survive" kind of magic shows and tricks. You can take a lot of this Chris Angel sort of magic and do away with it. I abjure thee. I should like to see a classical presentation of magic. Now, onward to the second, and quite possibly more disturbing topic. Magic as an occult, paranormal power, or practice, or even faith. Because there are various historical religions, or faiths, or spirituality pathways that have included the usage of mystical powers, per se. Now, do I believe that magic is real? That there are paranormal or occult or supernatural powers that can be tapped into by specific rituals, sacrifices, offerings, incantations, elixirs? Do I believe in this? Not particularly. Do I believe that certain laws of the universe can be bent a little? It's possible. It is possible. At least I believe it's possible. Bear in mind, I'm coming to you individuals who are watching this with a great deal less understanding of biological, chemical understandings of fact and theory and application. I'm just a man who doesn't know, and is willing to admit that he doesn't know, but I do have to pose the question, how do you explain something that has no explanation readily available? You can either go the course of God did it, it's magic, it's spirits, or you can take the road that I tend to take, which is, not sure. Sorry, Bob's your uncle. But it is certainly a possibility, I believe. Feel free, of course, to disagree with me, and provide facts, or references for me to partake of and read through. I would prefer to be proven wrong with accurate factual knowledge than to presume falsely. Wouldn't you? There are just some things about the rituals of old that were incorporated into various pseudo-faiths, such as Vodun, or voodoo, certain rituals and practices, and alchemical elixirs and compositions that were scribed down and carried through by various practitioners over the course of centuries. There may be an actual biological or chemical reason that some of these elixirs function as they are said to have done so, and there is a certain amount of mind over matter. Can you psych someone into believing that you've cursed them? If they truly believe it, their own physiological makeup can be tricked, can be fooled into partaking the effects of your voodoo spell or curse. I use voodoo as a primary example, though it's not the only form of magic that was ever practiced or contained curses and spells and what have you. But you get my point, I hope. If I'm not being clear enough, please take me to task. Anyhow, that's how I feel on the subject of magic in general, and specifically the old performance, the old rituals, and paranormal occult powers. That's all for now. As a final or parting notation, I should like to say once again, greetings, Lady Kate. It's so good to hear from you on the commentary of my last video, and it has been good to reconnect and to chit-chat with yourself and your fiancé, my good friend Joshua, also known as Byronofsidius. I believe I pronounced that correctly. It is good to hear from you both once again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't subscribed to these users, I should highly recommend that you do so. I shall provide links in the description below. Citizens of YouTube, I'd like to thank you for joining me once again down the merry path that is my spiraling thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Journeyman, and I bid you adieu.